Hey, all right, everyone. We are back for another combat patrol, and this time we got issue number 51, a paint issue. Not very exciting to start off the month's magazines, but what we do have rather coolly is a orc mech boy right on the front here with his. I can't even remember what that weapon is, but it's just like it's just an example of a completely crazy orc contraption. So basically, what we've got is Pallid Witch Flesh and Pink Horror going on here. Hopefully, yeah, as we would expect in our paint issue, they're actually showing. You know what? They're actually showing us how to use both this time, because one of the issues with some previous how to paints is they gave us two paints, but only showed us how to apply one of them, which was very weird. So we've got quite a lot of updating of models to do. To be quite honest, I need to sit down and update my Emperor's Sons because I haven't really done any highlighting on them. So I think I need to do an issue where I sit down with a series of paints and get those trims done and get those highlights done. So of course, we're updating a lot of miniatures here. Actually, it's quite interesting how much of an update we're doing here, and we're really hitting the highlighting phase of a lot of models. So there's definitely a lot of work to do if you're following the guides. Now, moving on from there, we've started getting our little bits of lore about the Leagues of Votann, who are actually humans, for want of a better word, although they've long since evolved away from humans as far as their height is concerned. They're not ratlings. They are a unique strain of human, for want of a better word, although even the lore behind them, as I understand it, really suggests that they're properly divergent from the human race. Okay, what else have we got here? Terribly bound magazines for one, which I really hate on this. One of the intriguing things about the Votann is their vehicles. They are different to the Imperium vehicles, but I still feel like in places there's kind of homage to certain parts of them. So if I kind of look at the sides of these vehicles, they have a certain amount of referring back to the utilitarian look, but with more curvature, like the Mechanicus has, which of course makes sense because the actual Votann haven't really lost as much technology as the Mechanicum has. So that's interesting. The Chronicles of the Kin. So it shows starting M31. So I'd be interested to have a good read through that. Although I know the Leagues of Votann are a continuation of the Squat range, they've been reworked very distinctly. Again, I like these kind of concepts. I like the fact that they've chose to make the story move along a bit. I mean, you've even got things like this, the Ogvari, yeah. Right, okay, yeah. So basically, looks like the Votann version of an Ogrin, which is quite, again, it just like reinforces the fact that they have a relation to the human race, with Ogrins being one of the extremes, for want of a better word. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? An Imperator class Titan versus an Orc Mega Gargant. Gosh, that's an old picture. But do you know what? It used to. That is. I love the fact that they've gone right back into the the deep lore there and the old 90s stuff, and actually turned around and said, you know what? Let's actually pull something from the past and show it to everyone and say, yeah, actually that is what happens on the battlefields of 40k. You have these gigantic god engines fighting each other, and we are actually rolling towards a full campaign, which is just so cool. Not just a set of battles or linked narratives, but a full-on campaign to actually go through, which is, again, it just adds something, doesn't it, really, overall. Of course, there's a little Gorkanut for the orcs, definitely, again, kind of like a mini, well, the smallest type of titans you're going to come across for the orcs. You know, yeah, it's got some good stuff in this one, I have to admit. It's got some interesting features that I like. Of course, we get our data cards, and I'm glad that they're carrying on with actual data cards. Catonian Berserks. I like that, the Catonian Berserks. The reason is because the name of them, because Catonia is the home world of the War Master Horus, and the fact that the name is still there is actually quite interesting after all this time. So, like, why did the Votann actually call it that? Is it because all of their original gene stock came from that world in the Imperium, the Horus Heresy era Imperium, the Great Crusade era? We've even got things like this cool little battle suit that the Votann have, which I like, and I can't wait to get this Boondaka Snazwagon. I just love anything orcish. Orcs are just so much fun. What else have we got? We've got a few little extra little data cards to go through, little objectives and things. I wonder what's on the back of this. Yeah, just terrain information, little terrain cards. Gosh, my throat is dry today. Yeah, as for the paints, we've got Pallid Witch Flesh, which is really good for, you know, highlighting lighter skin. That's definitely going on my Emperor's Sons. And Pink Horror, which, you know, if you really want to get a sharp pink colour on the edge of purple, which, again, I might build up to on my Emperor's Sons. I might put that on the very edges just to kind of get a bit of pinkness in there. Because, as I've been open about, I imagine that my Emperor's Sons are linked back to the Emperor's Children, so maybe a little bit of Pink Horror, just to kind of really push the purple into a more slightly pink colour on the edges. So there we go, that's our Combat Patrol 51. A paint issue, but it's got some nice stuff in there. At least it shows us how to actually use both paint, which they don't always do. We've got ourselves some data cards, which is good as well. So there we go, that's issue number 51. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.